Okay, so in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make thumbnails in Create Studio. And I'm going to start off by showing you a video that I might make called how to use or how to create multi-cameras in Create Studio. So let's watch the video. Okay, so that's the beginning of a video tutorial that I'm creating, and I'm going to need a thumbnail for it. So I've already got an idea of what I want the thumbnail to look like, and it's going to be something like this because it's about multi-camera angles in Create Studio. And I'm going to show you how to do it in the tutorial. But I'm going to need a thumbnail for it. So the way I'm going to do that is while I'm in Create Studio, I already have everything I need to create the thumbnails. So one of the things that people don't think about when they're using Create Studio is that you don't need to have duplicates of things. You don't need to have a lot of heavy stuff in your video because it does slow things down. So a lot of times you can get away with things in making the video lighter by doing something like this. For instance, this here, it's 4 different layers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to group them together first. And the next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to do a right click and I'm going to say, take a snapshot. Now, I saw somebody made a comment the other day in a Facebook post or something about taking snapshots of things, not being able to get everything together. The easiest way to get things together in the same snapshot is to just group them together. Then you can just go back and ungroup them. Okay, so if I look now over here, this is my snapshot that I just took. It's got all 4 of the angles that I want to show. Now, what I do is I come down to a later part of the video where there's no content, and I drag it onto my timeline. We're going to stretch it out. Okay, so this is going to be the thumbnail for my video. Not bad so far, but now we need to add some text. Easy to do in Create Studio. Add text. Now, I'm kind of partial to the Bangers font. Since I do a lot of animation and cartoon type things, I like this font. It's fun and it's easy to use. So I'm going to go in and put the text I want. So I'm going to put multi-camera simulation in Create Studio. Okay, so that's going to be the title of my tutorial. I'm going to make it bigger. And I like to make these type of things stand out. So what I usually do is I'll go in and I'll add a border, and usually in some funky color, like, pink or green or something like that. Something that contrasts with the background and with the text. So I'll do something like this. And I might make it a little bit smaller because I don't really want it to cover up the 4 different angles. That kind of defeats the purpose of having them. So I'm going to make them a little bit smaller like this. And I'm probably going to bring the line height together so that it becomes one kind of solid block. So that's going to be my title for my video. Then I'm going to add things in, for instance, like, I don't know, let's say, for instance, the video is only 12 minutes long, and I think that's important. I want to show that here. So what I'll do is I'll just come into the assets that are available, and I'll type in clock. And that'll show me a bunch of different clocks. And I kind of like this one here. It's 3D-ish. So I'm going to put that one in there. I'm going to shrink it down like so. And I'm going to add some more text. And this one here is going to say under 12 minutes. Same thing. I can add a border to this to help it stand out from the backgrounds. That's a good practice. It helps make things more readable. So you can leave it black. That helps so that in case there's any white underneath, it would still stand out. Like say if I put it here, you see it stands out anywhere you put it. It would even stand out on that. So I'm going to put that here. I always put my company name on here. So I'm going to add to the corner down here. I'm going to put Jojomasu. And again, I'm going to add a background to it, like so. Here in the corner. What else? You know, I might put in something that says step by step. So I might, let's try putting some more text in here. Over here, we're going to say text, and I'll write something in like this. Step. Step by step. And you have these guidelines that show up when you move things around. Those are helping you to place things on your canvas. So when you put something right in the middle, you get that line that shows you that you're right in the middle. And I'm going to add again some more border to it, and maybe, well, I don't know, we'll make this one green or something. Like I said, it doesn't really matter. This is just to show you how this works. I like my thumbnails to be colorful as much as possible. I think it grabs people's attention and it lets you know right away that it's something fun, and it's animation, cartoons, that type of thing. Okay, so let's say this is all I'm going to put on. I mean, I could add more stuff on here, but for the time being, that's all I'm going to put on. And we're going to do the same thing we did before. I'm going to group all of this together. I'm going to go Control G, and then I'm just going to put my cursor on the timeline here, and I'm just going to say, take a snapshot. And here it is. Okay, so that's great and all, but it's still sitting here in Create Studio. It's not its own standalone image. I don't feel like going into the folder to try to find it and get out the high quality one and all that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come over here to Publish, Image. It's going to be 1920 by 1080, which is what you need for a video on YouTube. I want to make it a JPEG. I want to make it as small as possible. And I'm going to say export. And I'm going to pick a location. This is my tutorials folder, so I'll just leave it there. And I'm going to call it multi-camera tutorial. And I'm going to save it. and it's already exported. So now I'm going to come over here. I'm going to go to my tutorials folder, and I'm going to show you the image as soon as it refreshes. And it was called multi-camera, so it's this one right here. I'm going to double click on it. And there you have it. My thumbnail is ready to go on to my YouTube video when it's ready to upload. If you go back into Create Studio, let's say right here, you can actually take this and you can leave it here. It doesn't affect anything. I'm going to delete this for now. I could have even just done a snapshot of here, or produced a video, or an image just from right here. If you bring this down here, and what I usually do is I'll take it and I'll put it down here somewhere, and I'll just hide it, and I'll just leave it here. Let's say later on I want to go back and I want to change something. Maybe there's something I added in the video that I forgot to add into the thumbnail. Just keep it here. See, you don't see it. It's hidden, and it's still sitting in your where you can use it later on. I do this with a lot of my videos. The thumbnail is part of the video itself, or part of the video folder. And if I need to go back and use it for something, I can. Now, the other thing that I showed you while we were talking about making a thumbnail is about putting things as a snapshot. A lot of times you need an image of something. Let's say you want to make a background. You take a bunch of different items, you create your backgrounds. You don't need to leave them in the video per se. If you want, you can group them, right click, and you say, take a snapshot. Your snapshot shows up over here in your folders. You can then delete all that junk and just drag your snapshot onto the background and use that as your background. If your character is not going to be walking around an item, or you're just going to use it as a background, it's easier to just take a snapshot of it and use the snapshot, and it makes your video much lighter, a lot less things to load. And then you can go back and just delete it. If you want to delete all of the individual items that you had in your thing, you can delete them all. And then, because you have the snapshot already, even if you want to add something, you could add something to the snapshot itself and take another snapshot of it, and that would still work. Well, that's how I build my thumbnails for my tutorials, for my videos. Um, I hope this gives you some ideas. I hope it makes your life easier, and I hope that it's something that if you use in the future, please just let me know that it worked for you. And don't forget to like and to subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out, and it encourages me to keep on making more of these.